got up, I got dressed, made the bed, of course, and then I took Gabriel to story time at our local library. Side note, if you hear any traffic going by, it is because I have the front door open and some of the windows open because it is such a nice day out. But yeah, we went to story time at the library, then got some Starbucks, came back and did some tidying up around the house, and Gabriel is down for his nap now. But I have a video that I've been wanting to make. It kind of manifested this week over some things that had happened over the weekend online and just things that I have noticed in general in online spaces that I just want to talk about. So there have been a lot of conversations online surrounding the topic of the mental load as well as being a default parent. So let me break this down for you. What is the mental load? So according to Google, the mental load definition, mental load is the cognitive effort involved in managing your work, relationships, a family, and a household. So pretty much it is everything that you do throughout the day and everything that you think about throughout the day to run your day. So there's been a lot of conversations about this and tacking on the default parent term that I've been seeing a lot online. And the default parent is the parent in a family that the kids automatically go to, the kids automatically trust. You know that joke online, everybody's always asking for mom, looking for mom, because typically moms are the default parent. So now that brings me to the third thing that I have been noticing around these conversations surrounding the mental load and surrounding the default parent, and that is a complaining spirit. So you're probably at the point in the video like, Victoria, what are you talking about? And I am talking about how to avoid a complaining spirit, because as we see these conversations happening both in real life and online, it is easy to fall into that complaining spirit. So as we're talking about mental load and being the default parent, as many of us are when we are the stay-at-home mom, or even just being a mom in general, traditionally you are the default parent. A lot of resentment can form because these conversations are bringing out tough topics like, why doesn't my husband help me out with this? Why do I have to always think about things 10 steps ahead? Why can't my husband figure things out? And so stuff like that. We as humans are naturally very selfish. It's easy to see all these things and say, why me, why me, why me? Why can't my husband do this? Why can't you? All these things surrounding me, myself. And it's very easy to slip in that mentality and then start complaining, why can't you do this? Why can't things be like this, etc., etc. It's very easy to slip into that mentality, and we need to be very careful that we don't slip into that mentality. I've just noticed so much lately around these conversations around the mental load and being the default parent. It's revealing a lot of selfishness in individuals that are coming online and bringing up points and things that they personally take issue with. And I think it is a reveal of selfishness. This complaining spirit that I'm also seeing happening online a lot is also very discouraging to individuals who eventually want to get married, very discouraging to newlywed individuals, very discouraging to new parents, because they're seeing these people come online and they're saying how unhappy they are with their spouse because their spouse doesn't do X, Y, Z, or Z through X, whatever you want to say. And they're seeing all these conversations of saying, why doesn't my spouse do X, Y, Z? Why this and that? Why that? Why me? Why aren't you doing for me? And like I mentioned before, it's a very selfish mentality to have. And I think it's very selfish because we are also forgetting that there is another person in this equation when it comes to managing the mental load and being the default parent. And that is the other person in the relationship, the other parent in the family. And like I mentioned before, it's very easy to slip into a selfish mindset because we naturally are all very selfish individuals. And sometimes we need a reminder sometimes to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. So just like how there is a default parent, there is a default provider. Now in my family, it is my husband. My husband is the default provider. And that is how it is in millions of families around the world. You have the mom that stays home or the wife that stays home and the husband or father that goes out to work, and they are the ones that provide. It would be easy to slip into that selfish mentality and that complaining spirit and say, well, my husband gets to leave the house every day. He gets to talk to adults every day. He gets to get adult conversation. He gets to have a peaceful and quiet drive to work, etc., etc. Yeah, he gets those things. Those things are nice. But maybe he also gets the stress of holding down a job, corporate pressure from his boss, traffic. Ugh, I hate traffic. Dealing with the public. I would rather deal with a room full of toddlers than deal with customer service. The stress of paying bills, the stress of the fact that the cost of living is so high. There are so many nuanced things that the default provider might also be stressed out about that we as the default parent might be forgetting. Another key element to all of these conversations that people are having online are, well, I am not my husband's mom. My husband is not a child. I shouldn't have to tell him I need help with things. I shouldn't have to show him how to do things. And I disagree with that. And once again, this is coming from my standpoint as the default parent, and my husband is the default provider. My husband is not home for 40+ hours a week, as is many men around America. They're not home for X amount, 40, 50, 60. Sometimes people aren't home for 80+ hours a week. They go and they sleep at their job for 24 to 48 hours at a time, and then they come home. During that time that they are away from home, there are things still happening at home. Meals being made, laundry being done, errands and chores being completed. It would be stupid to assume that the person that spends the most time away from home should know or automatically know how to do those things without having been told. And it is cruel, I feel, to expect the people that stay away from home the most to only give them one opportunity to know how to do those things. So say my husband comes home on a random Wednesday afternoon early from work and he says, hey honey, I would like to help you around the house. What do you need done? It would be mean of me to just look at him and say, well, look around, figure it out. I have systems in place here around the house, chores that get done certain times of the week and certain ways, things that get done around the house. It would be unfair for me to automatically expect that my husband is a mind reader and can read my mind and know exactly what needs to be done when. These conversations around the difficulties of being a default parent and the difficulties of carrying a large mental load, I think are great conversations to have, but we need to remember the other person in the equation, and we need to remember what they are also going through. Now, I'm in no way saying just throw caution to the wind and just because your spouse works out of the home that they shouldn't do anything around the house. I'm not saying that. I am saying to remember to give them grace. Remember to have patience. Because I'm sure you would appreciate grace and patience if you showed up to your spouse's job to help them and you needed to be taught how to do a couple things. It's also good to remember all the things that you might not do around the house. I don't change the oil, I don't rotate the tires, I don't clean out the gutters, I don't take out the trash, I don't mow the lawn, I don't pick up the dog poop. I could go on and on of all the things that I don't do that my husband does. So when we are having these conversations around the mental load, being the default parent, and communication, and we need to be careful that we are communicating and not complaining. And I'm so sorry guys if this video is very choppy and my thoughts aren't all like cohesive at all. I'm literally just sitting down and making this video on the spot, one shot. I didn't write a script or anything. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me your thoughts and comments down below and I will get to you guys. Well, I will see you guys next time. Bye.